Yeah, so, Ross, how disappointing was that? You're in a pretty good position early in the third, and then you just seemed to sort of, the wind seemed to go out of your sails a bit.
Oh, it was very disappointing. Yeah, I agree. To half-time, we're pretty solid, and the game was panning out how we thought, and to be truthful, the game panned out in the second half how we thought it could if we didn't control those areas. So, really simply, like the turnover game, we're pretty strong and they're okay. First quarter, we're under pressure because of the stoppage midfield. Second quarter, we equalised and got good ground position and put them under all sorts of pressure. But after half time, they obliterated us, which is really disappointing because nothing really changed. From our attacking mid and defensive mid stoppages, it was like, I don't know, like 6 entries to 22 for the game, something like that. Which gives you all ground position, and Nort scores to 4-4 or something. So our centre square bounce work was okay, entry was about the same, but they just dominated and it just lived in our back half. Our backs were a bit exhausted. And our midfield, who's been pretty good all year, just couldn't touch the ball. They didn't lay a glove on it, 3 or 4 of them. So, which we've spoken about, there's no apportioning blame except to say that division and that aspect of the game didn't deliver, and that's, I just explained to them what happened. Don't sit here, it's no mystery. Which has been Carlton's strength, and they did it, right? So it was the basics done pretty well. So, and then everything works from there, to be honest.
Their stoppage numbers or clearance numbers were pretty strong, Ross. Is there anything you could try and change or adjust in that second half there?
Yeah, look, we rolled them all through, to be honest. We put Sinclair through, Gresham through, got Owens out, did a couple of other things, tried to get Windhager through. We're just trying to get traction, but at the end of the day, you've got to win the ball, right? So it was very difficult. Like, our guys feel down, but it was impossible. The game, they just lived. But that's the game they've been playing, so that's the challenge for everyone that plays them. But there's a lot of good teams out there that will handle that. So, but the transition game, then we couldn't shift the ball out of our D50 because it was just locked and pressured. So we had 1 entry from around the ground clearance in the second half. It's impossible.
Ross, how challenging will it be now to sort of move on as quickly as you can, to know this season's very much still alive, but you've got to sort of get it going again next week?
Yeah, it's a conundrum, isn't it? It's a juxtaposition because you really half time, to be honest, we couldn't have been happier. We could probably left a little bit on the table, and we had the method, and if anything, they simplified their game, less forwards up at the stoppage and all of that sort of thing. So, look, we've identified it, we'll review it. And there's no recrimination. Sometimes you just get beaten. It's hard to swallow because didn't see it exactly coming, and the second halves have been our strength. So, yeah, what have we got to do? We've got to review sharply, take some learnings, and, I come and watch the Bulldogs on Friday night with the opposition scout, and they were really good, and the Tigers will be licking their wounds. So all of us come back. And it's not always about the ladder. It's just about improving your footy and feeling good about yourself. So we all just feel a little bit low at the minute. We all had our chest out at half-time feeling good. And, we didn't get it done. There's no secret recipe.
They're just about the form team in the comp, though, at the moment, aren't they?
Based on that, yeah, they won 6. They had a couple of handy outs, to be fair to them. Walsh and Chera, 2 of their best mids, so that was an area. But it shows the quality and the depth of their list. We put a bit of time in the Crips. He really got to work in the first quarter and the last quarter. We didn't get it done in there, So generally over the year we've been pretty good, and we're good in the half time, but it was just an annihilation. But really, if we look at it, it was only 1 quarter we handled it, 3 quarters we didn't. So we think we're in pretty good shape in front and behind the ball. Or when we get equal grant and service in there. So we'll keep working on it.
Wilkie keeps Kerner to 1 goal. You'd almost think they'll be halfway to before. If you were told that before the game, they'd almost be halfway to winning the game, wouldn't you?
Well, we said just make the others beat us, right? So I thought Wilkie's very good. He got some good support, but I think you take out Saad, didn't bounce much. Kerner doesn't do much. Cripps was pretty good. He was probably the other one in the mix that you're thinking about. Try and minimise their stoppage game, but we couldn't do it for long enough. It's pretty simple. It's not a complicated formula.
It did look like you tried to double team Charlie a bit, but you said Battle and Wilkie.
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah.
sort of plan there?
25 of Charlie's 39 goals have come from stoppage chains. So they just set up to give him plenty of space. It's a coaching group that's don't give him what they want, so we just took away his space. Didn't affect our stoppage. There was nothing to do with around the stoppage. So I thought, yeah, Enright and the group planned pretty well, but it all means nothing when it does it really. They showed, they got people that can step up, and ultimately that's what you've got to be able to do.
How's Max King pulled up from his first game back? Seemed to be pretty good out there.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to him. Yeah, look, it was a pretty courageous effort. I thought, particularly he'll be better for the run. Probably have a bit more confidence in his body. He's involved in some big contests. So yeah, he was fine.
Do you almost make it, 3 more games, you probably have to win 2 more. Do you almost shrink it down to this as like a mini season now for the boys? You have to probably win 2 out of your last 3 to make the finals, or?
Yeah, I haven't really thought of it like that. Look, if you everyone wants to win, right?
Yeah.
But if you focus on that, you don't really get the win. So we'll review, take some learnings, and if you don't improve, if you play good footy, the wins come. Carlton were a team on the footy, you fix what you're doing and the wins follow. So, we need to be better. I know it's a bit confusing, first half, second half. I know my group's been very honest. There's no ranting and raving. They'll be hurting, and we just got to get back on the horse, right? So put it behind us as quick as we can. But yeah, it's a narrow window for improvement. Narrow window. But we're alive. But yeah, we get another opportunity to deliver next week and come up, which is fortunate. Not that I'm aware of. No, we come out healthy.
Thanks, gang.
Thanks, Chris.